Hope you have some idea about MMA, and we need your close interaction and contribution. So that's what makes MMA really a very special. But we want every member to really connect with us and contribute in their own way, because each one of them are specialists. I see every month the members profiling of the people who join every month. Average about 30 to 40 people join every month. It's outstanding. But problem, they join, they don't come. So. But we wanted more people to come and join us, and that's what makes things. Before I call upon the distinguished speakers for this evening, which is a very, very interesting subject, let me briefly tell you what's happening in MMA next few days. I'll just take a minute. 20th May, tomorrow we are having even on labor codes and compliance and awareness. It's happening at Chengalpet. Mr. Ramachandran is going to be talking to us. We have a Chengalpet chapter, Mahindra Well City. It's happening there. On 25th of May, we have a plan along with CPCL, Chennai Petroleum Chemicals Limited. We are doing a joint endowment lecture being instituted by them, and it will be happening in the next 10 years. We are in the final stage of signing the memorandum. The first lecture likely to commence on 25th of May. We are trying to get Mr. Sahani is chairman of Indian Oil Corporation with Shankar. We are trying to get some Ashok, former chairman. We are trying to get some outstanding leaders for this. The topic will be public sector leadership in nation building from legacy to future readiness. So this is going to be a topic, and we are also trying to get some very top-notch leaders. I don't want to tell them unless this confirmation comes. This is happening on 25th of May at 6:37. It will start, followed by dinner. The inaugural endowment lecture session is going to be starting. On 27th of May, leadership signals, building executive presence that inspire trust. This is happening at Andhra Chamber along with MMA. This is Magesh, founder CEO of i-strides, is going to be the speaker there. Then on 29th of May, we have a very nice conclave. MMA, IAA, Institute of Internal Auditors, and the conclave leading with trust, financial leadership, governance, and strategy in the disruptive world. It's highly subsidized. For a full day conclave, I think the MMA is charging, along with IAA, just about 2,000. It's already there. We already got some 200 nominations. Anybody want to come, please do join, register. We have some outstanding speakers. I can tell you at least one or two sessions on leadership, your branding, me, and all that sessions. I'll walk miles to listen to those speakers. It's a big list of speakers. I don't want to mention one and miss the other one. That's why I'm not telling who is the thing. You can just watch on log into them. On 1st of June, again we have an outstanding speaker, building high performance teams, lessons from military leadership and large scale operations. We have got General Anant Narayanan, AVSM EM retired. He has done quite a bit of work. He has been personally involved in operations in China and so many things. And I think maybe the topic what you are going to discuss is something to connect to all these. But it's happening on 1st. He's going to be there. Raju Venkatraman, former CEO of Meta, will be chairing the session. Then on 10th of June, again we have AA for everyone, because AA is the one talking to everybody. If I don't do talk and event about AI, it's not fashionable. People think, you don't have knowledge. So we make sure that AI is there every month, 2-3 events. It's happening at Kanjipuram. So people who are from Oragadam can attend. This is happening at Hand in Hand Institute at Kanjipuram. It's happening there. Then on 13th, we are doing it as usual, time links, Golden Age series. Then on 24th is next month, Read and Grow series. 6 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. The Read and Grow is, which is very, very popular. Coming to today's event, the odd thing about hot things is it's a thing book. When I got the intimation about this book, the book chosen by Sangeeta, I said this is the right occasion, the situation which you are all going through. So many turbulence and so many issues happening around us, externally, internally. And so many things are there. Your gold price has already been gone up tremendously because your share price is crashed. It's all very minor things. It affects only a few. But what is impacting the whole nation is in terms of the cost of living, the inflation has gone up. This way the leadership is going to be there. And we firmly believe everything revolves around leadership actually. If the leader is good, everything is going to be in place. And there's no easy solutions to be a great leader. Everything has got a thing. And I've been ADC to chief and many people, and they all talk about leaders are lonely at the top. It's true. Most of my leaders, I've seen them, when they reach that level, they're lonely at the top. When the things are happening, they will look at window and enjoy the scenery. When things are bad, they run around all over. Everybody's in trouble. So this is very, very important. And this subject, what is going to be discussed today, something outstanding, and I must compliment Sangeeta for choosing this subject. And we also have two outstanding speakers who have extensively experienced this area, which is very, very important actually. When we have talk about global and situations and leadership turbulent times, and these two leaders who is going to be joining along with Sangeeta has got some phenomenal experience, and I'll be introducing them a short while from now on a video, and they will be able to contribute significantly for this topic actually, and which is very, very important, especially youngsters and all of you who are watching this program. As usual, if you have any questions, please share your questions, and leaders have agreed to respond to all your questions. And always, everybody tells us, even I think Ben also is telling, there is no shortcut to success actually. Especially, you learn the success through hard work. There is no shortcut. It has to be followed by him. And there's his favorite quote, what he's doing it actually. And knowledge gain from personal experience are very, very important. That is what the leaders today is going to be sharing with you. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together to welcome outstanding panel for this evening to discuss on the theme of the book. Sangeeta will lead the thing. Sangeeta, Shankar and Sumesh, the gain enabler. She'll be in conversation with Srinivasi, head of Chennai factory Nokia, and Nitin Mageshwari, director information technology Flex. May I request the gentleman to please take your place on the dais, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, very warm round of applause to our distinguished panel for this evening. The format for this evening is Sangeeta will set the context and thereafter lead the conversation with both the distinguished speakers. Before I hand over to session to Sangeeta, I want to formally introduce the speakers for this evening. Can I have the AV please?
Dr. C.A. Sangeeta Shankar, the game enabler, is a CFO business and leadership coach with 30 years of corporate experience, empowering leaders and teams to grow with purpose, performance, and profit. Dr. Sangeeta is an independent director, PCC credential coach, TEDx and global speaker, and best-selling author, combines deep financial expertise with leadership transformation. Dr. Sangeeta is a chartered accountant with executive education from Harvard Business School and a doctorate from the Swiss School of Business and Management. Mr. Srinivas P., head of Chennai factory at Nokia, is a transformational manufacturing leader with 33 plus years of expertise in telecom and IT hardware manufacturing. Mr. Srinivas has successfully built and scaled 3 greenfield factories, driving operational excellence through strong process-oriented culture. Passionate about Industry 5.0, Mr. Srinivas champions automation, IoT, cloud, AI, and ML to create intelligent, sustainable, and globally competitive manufacturing ecosystems. Mr. Nitin Mageshwari, Director, Information Technology at Flex, is a seasoned IT leader with over 20 years of experience driving digital transformation and resilient IT strategies across global organizations. Mr. Nitin leads diverse technology portfolios and high-performing international teams while fostering innovation, leadership development, and a culture of continuous learning. Passionate about executive presence and personal growth, Mr. Nitin also enjoys reading, writing, running, and badminton.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the profile of our distinguished panel for this evening, an outstanding profile. You'll agree with me. We're going to have a very, very passionate, thought-provoking session. And let me also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Ram Prasad and also Mr. Babu Krishnamurthy. The other two people along with Sangeeta is put together every month after month, and we're already crossing 55th episode. We celebrate Golden Jubilee. It's not easy for somebody to put together every month and getting some outstanding speakers and book which are not which have got international flavor and also very useful to management. I think we all deserve to give them a big round of applause to Sangeeta, Babu, and also Ram Prasad for this game. And before, once again, before I hand over the session to Sangeeta, I also want to do the honor of presenting the mementos for this evening to you, Sangeeta. Can you please do a step forward and accept the memento? All that we are going to give you some more books, but Sangeeta, we are not giving you any books. You have read enough. We are going to give you items which are which are created by the CSR initiative of MMA. Can you please step forward? Can you all join? Come. Come, Babu. You also can join. Come. Make the kids so soon. Please come on. Hey, you can give me that. This is a MMA publication. Read this. Just close it.
Sangeeta, you want us to hold it?
Yes, hold this. You can hold this.
Yes, the player is
Sorry.
let's look at our conversation. What am I doing? Come. So, is the camera there? Thank you. The items are made by our children from the schools under our CSR initiative. Thank you so much for your, and now I'll hand it over to Sangeeta to kindly take it forward. Over to you, Sangeeta.
Firstly, I was intrigued by this title. Plus, this is a new generation book and it has excellent reviews on Amazon. Not just that, later I got to know after I selected this book that one of the rich and young tech founders of a large company in the US gives this book to all his new employees as part of their welcome kit. So I thought there must be something in this book, and that's why I chose this book. But I must also admit, the moment I got to know that he gives this book to all his employees, somewhere in my mind I thought, oh, it'll be so nice if my books are also given to people, who are joining the organizations new. But later I got to know the reason why these books were given, and you'll have to wait till the end to know why this book has been given to all the new employees of the organization. Ben Horowitz, he's the author of this book, The Hard Thing About Hard Things. So it's about building a business where there's no easy answers. When I started reading this book initially, actually I thought it was maybe a wrong choice, because I didn't find it that interesting initially, but as I progressed, the book did seem a lot interesting. But to be honest, I think it's a mixed bag. A lot of gems, but also few things that were a little bit boring and also a little boastful too. So this book is more like an autobiography of his business career with traces from his personal life as well. So the main focus of this book is on the challenges and dilemmas faced by CEOs and founders on how to effectively run a company, and it's through the eyes of the author based on his experience. But while this book is mainly for founders and CEOs, I feel some of the points are also relevant for large corporates as well. So let me now highlight to you some of the things that stood out from the book. First thing, he says, CEOs should tell things as they are without any delusion because it enhances trust, more people to work together, and sets a good culture for the organization. In a weekly staff meeting, he asked a question to his team. What is it that you are not doing? He also reflects to say, what am I not doing as a CEO? So you see, those things actually provoke a lot of thoughts and therefore enables one to take actions. Talking about layoffs, now that there are so many layoffs, so he talks about the right way to lay off people. First he says, get it right in your head. Do not delay once you've decided that you want to lay off a person. Know why you are actually laying off the person. An important one, he says, train your managers to do the layoff and not your HR teams, because you are the ones who have actually hired the people. And then as a CEO, you address the whole company about the layoffs. Be visible, be present, and engage with all your employees so that, there are no rumors and no grapevine about the layoff. And let people know that you actually appreciate their efforts. Another important one he says is, why should you train your people? He says people are the most important asset. And he gives a very good explanation on this. He says, if your people are being trained, let's say for 12 hours, but they're working for 20,000 hours in total, even if there is 1% improvement, what happens? The result of the 12 hours, and it gets so much better. So he's saying, for training for 12 hours, you actually get 1% of the 20,000, which is about 200 hours. And he says it's a great matter. And he says, train them in finance, negotiation, leadership, and so on, because that will enhance your company's competencies as well as improve the morale of your employees. Another interesting question the book addresses is it all right to hire from your friend's company or your competitors? He says, if you'll be shocked and horrified that, let's say, a company X hires several employees of yours, then you should not hire theirs. Another aspect is, normally it's very hard for big company executives to work in smaller companies because their jobs are completely different. Because the big companies, the big executives in the big companies are usually optimizing and running the existing business. And most of the business is actually incoming, so they don't really have to go and fetch business. Plus, he says there could be a rhythm and a skill mismatch. Another area he cautions, management debt, he says, is incurred when you make a convenient short-term management decision, but that has an expensive long-term consequence. And therefore, think twice before making any decision. Funny and interesting example of how politics actually happens in organizations. The CFO wanted to grow further as the COO. And therefore went and asked the CEO, what are the skills that he must demonstrate? The CEO encouraged him and asked him to pursue his dream, and also asked him to develop further skills. And also be a strong leader with whom the other company executives will be wanting to work with. A week later, another executive panics and comes to the CEO. And he says, the CFO told him that he's being groomed by the CEO to become the next COO. So you see, look at the way how things can get manipulated and misinterpreted. So that's how politics happen in organizations. So to minimize the politics, he says, hire people with the right ambition. The ambition for the company's success. And therefore, the executive success then becomes a byproduct of it. And also to build strict processes for potential political issues. Continuing, hiring senior people who've already been there and done that, and you're trying to do, can radically speed up your success. But, he says, in a startup, it's kind of like an athlete taking high performance enhancing drugs. And if it goes well, you go to new heights and scale well, else it starts degenerating. So he talks about Bill Campbell's, the $1 trillion coach, the book again I had reviewed a few months ago. So he talks about Bill Campbell's methodology. So he says, firstly, results against objectives. How well is the person managing the entire team? How innovative are they? What is their ability to work with peers? Are they effective in communication? Can they support and get things done? So he says, look out for these aspects and be clear on them. Another important aspect. Why is building the right culture something so important? It says, having the right culture can help achieve goals. It preserves the key values of the company. And funny, if it will be tragic because after all the huge efforts that you've taken to build a company, even if you don't feel like working in it, that's really tragic. So the core skills for running an organization, knowing what to do and getting the company to do what you actually know. And he says you need both these characteristics to be a very good CEO. Great leaders create an environment where employees feel that the CEO actually cares more for the employees than the CEO cares for themselves. An interesting one, he says, this is called the Freaky Friday management technique. And it's based on this movie called Freaky Friday. Now in this movie, the mom and daughter are actually very frustrated with each other. They lack understanding on what's really happening with each other. And therefore, because of some magic, the roles actually get swapped. And they get inside each other's body. And that actually resulted in understanding the challenges of each other. This became an interesting way to solve interdepartmental conflicts. So when conflicting teams actually switch jobs, they appreciate the challenges of each other and it results in the teams actually working together harmoniously. Now let me also share some noteworthy quotes from the book. To scale further, get a coach or a mentor and find someone who's been there, done that. If you're too busy to train your people, it's equivalent of being too hungry to eat. A company without a story is usually a company without a strategy. The most important attribute required by a CEO is leadership. Be careful with, he said this, she said that. Watch out for that. As a CEO, you must constantly evaluate the members of your team. The only thing that actually prepares you to run a company is actually running it. When letting go of people, you cannot help them to keep the job, but you can absolutely help them to keep their respect. Hard things are hard because there are no easy recipes. So one very nice aspect of this book is that all the chapters are subdivided into a lot shorter sections and they can be reference worthy. But I must admit that something that I really disliked in this book is that it contains filthy language, filthy words, it's strewn around, and apparently this was also a part of the working culture. So the author has also clarified his views and justified to say the use of such words in a workplace. Apart from this, there are also a few places where I felt the author sounded a bit conceited. Like he claims that now he's the management guru. And also the general tone of the book feels like he has a lot of attitude. But well, maybe he's right in having an attitude because he's successfully sold his business and he's now a noteworthy large investor in other tech companies. He's also shared some nice sides of him, and one such instance is that he highlights the human side of himself. For example, when his company EBS was going to take over another company called Tangram's CFO, whose name was John, was diagnosed with brain cancer. And he did not have insurance coverage because of this acquisition. So although John was a stranger to Ben decided to pay for his health costs by finding another budget in the company. So if I were to conclude, this is a good read, especially for founders and CEOs, and even aspiring CEOs, I can say. It's filled with many anecdotes, but it's all about the author's experiences and his views. He's also shared very good insights from the late Bill Campbell, the trillion-dollar coach I mentioned, Jim Collins, and also Mark Zuckerberg and others. On the flip side, I thought not everything is really relevant to all. And like I mentioned, I did find it a bit boring in few places. It's good to consider his views as his perspectives and apply prudence in whatever you think is relevant in applying to your business. And lastly, if you're still wondering why this book was actually given to all the new employees of the large company that I was mentioning, it's because he was an investor in their companies, and that's why it was being given. So, yes, thanks. So that was the summary of this book. Now let's pick their brains to see what they actually think about this book. Thank you.
Let's start with you, Srini. So, what's your opinion of the book? What is it that you liked, and is there something that you disliked about this book?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. See, I'm here to share my experience and the way I see either the book or my experience based on the maybe queries that either you have or Dr. Sangeeta. Fact is, before I answering the question, I must admit that. So actually, I know Dr. Sangeeta. She asked me that whether you want to participate in this particular session a month and a half back. I took one day to say yes because I'm not a habitual reader. So I enjoy because professionally I was born and brought up in manufacturing. From the very first day of my experience, I was in manufacturing, maybe IT industry. Then later on, then last 18 years, I'm with Nokia Networks. Nokia is not the one which most of us know. It is not the mobile device manufacturing. That story was over 2012-14. So Nokia had, just to give just an idea, had two major divisions that time, mobile division and networks division. Mobile is sold out to Microsoft and closed. And I'm part of the Nokia Networks. I joined in 2008 in Chennai. Last 18 years, I am in the factory. So we manufacture 3G, 4G, 5G radio equipments like mobile telecom exchange equipments and the system modules and related equipments. Currently, Nokia is globally, it is headquarters in Finland, 23 billion euro company. We have two own factories. One is NPI in Oulu, and second own factory is this one, which is at Oragadam. I'm heading Oragadam factory, and worldwide we have 85,000 employees, and in India we have close to 17,000 employees, and 6 to 7,000 are in Bangalore, working on the software development R&D, and around 2,000 are in Perungudi, working on the network R&D. I mean network, like you say that, what is there in home, modem and other networking, GPONs, various other backhaul, network backhaul. And also we have a services division in Navalur, that is again 2,500 employees. And I head factory where put together all employees 2,500. So coming back to the question, first I just said no about me that I'm not a habitual reader. Then I was thinking for one day, should I say yes or no? At the same time, knowing Dr. Sangeeta, I don't want to miss this opportunity. One is to definitely to be part of this large gathering, and I know that many are connected through online, and share at least what I know. Not that I know better than any one of you know. And coming back, I just started reading because I said I am not a habitual reader. I had a lot of challenges, as everyone has, my factory work, personal stuff. So I started reading. First I went to 5 pages. Back, I was not very comfortable. Like she said, no, the language which is used, it's a foul language. which I'm not very happy to read in a book, but that's how it is. Why, like author Ben, such a great person, like communist, a CEO, and a venture capitalist, and writing such a not so comfortable language in a book. So then again closed. Again started. I went up to 53 pages. I understood largely, and it's very interesting, to be honest with you. I've not completed the book. I went through 53 pages because all the book talks about being honest. Is the first fundamental in any leadership. So I must be at least honest with you. I have not read the book. Then should I say no to Dr. Sangeeta that I have not read, I cannot participate? No. So I thought, let me do something. I took a call. My actually pressure is building up. What do I do? How do I face? If the question can come from any page, right? So what do I do? Then I have started, developing my natural, the way I have been in manufacturing. In Hindi में बोलते हैं कि जुगाड़ करना तो अच्छा जानते हैं. More than the actual, conceptual or technical solution, उसमें तो उस्ताद है. That's how you live in manufacturing. So I started thinking, how do I still manage? So I thought I used a ChatGPT, as Vijay was telling, without, I missed it. Where is Vijay? He's okay. Okay. So he was mentioning AI. So let me use the ChatGPT. Then I gave a prompt that take the book, ebook. Then I asked what the author is trying to convey to. I got a one-pager. Actually like this. One-page summary I got. Oh, this is what author is saying. I have read 53 pages, right? Oh, this is what author is saying. Okay, nice. And I also asked what are the salient features what Dr. Sangeeta has already shared with all of us now. I've understood well, oh, this is what it is. Then I'm good. I can handle any questions because I'm not going to reproduce what Ben has said. That is his life, his experience is expressed in a book. If I'm showing off here that I know everything, it is my foolishness. But at least I can correlate my experience in the factory, wherever I worked. How did we handle various situations in a similar fashion? So, and then just to give whatever I've read through and the summary is also has very beautifully summarized, the way Dr. Sangeeta said. Complete, at least high level summary I have. So I have read at least. Technically I have read, tick mark to ho gaya. So coming to that, when I said that 53 pages, I recalled how the way and how it is leaving the filthy and foul language. It is very nicely written, expressed, like starting with the way his journey was in the beginning, the way he became the CEO, the way the decisions he took when the company was not doing well. And it is not that that anybody has a formula. This is a problem. This is a solution. It's not really. When we see that in many situations, it is at the time what you decide is the right. Even you yourself will feel that after some time, did I decide that it may be better or even otherwise? It all happens. But are you taking a right decision at that point of time? And just to complete my maybe little long, but to me it is a short answer. So this various things it is said, that being honest, being truthful, and we do that. And I'm very comfortable. Why? Because as a company Nokia, whatever is said in the summary, whatever is said as what he would like to share, actually we are practicing. So that way, maybe I would say that I was made very comfortable and easy. Various aspects, whatever is said. Basic thing is being honest. It is not that you are giving a bad news. Whether the news is good or bad, be honest to yourself. Be sincere to the task that you have taken. Do justice for the purpose you are, wherever you are. To best of your abilities. That's how we have been, That's how we have been. That's how we have inculcated the teams here in our factory. That's how sometimes we are harsh. I'll not say that we are always polished, but we try to be polished. At times things will come and test our own, abilities and inabilities. That's a part and parcel of learning. When you think that something is not done right, we do correct. Do a course correction. Do it better next time. That's how we have been. But it is a great book because, as I said, maybe I leave it to my other industry colleague to share his views. But really great book. But a lot of them, all of them, whatever I could understand from the summary, are really great and all fundamental, working level, and in mostly in the bad times. See, everybody is good when things are good. We are all nice in this atmosphere with AC, with all very peaceful atmosphere. We are all good. How I be in a tough situation, whether it is practical, physical, emotional, how I behave, how I reflect, how I decide, that makes the person real. So that's what is a book about. That's what I understand based on whatever I said without repeating. So I'm very happy to be with you all, and maybe followed by any further questions I have, I would like to answer to my best. Thank you.
Thanks Srini, and thanks for being so authentic about the book. So now I know, but I'm glad that you were smart enough to get the summary from AI. So that's good. To you, Nitin, so what are your thoughts on the book? What insights did you get, and is there something you liked and disliked about the book?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, MMA. Thank you, Sangeeta, for having me here. I think Srini really gave good insight. This book, I agree what Sangeeta mentioned, that not everything I'm agreeing from the book. Right, but let's first start where I see value. From a startup perspective, this is in summary how he started his career, did job, and then into doing all the startups, and then became a venture capitalist. Few things from a startup perspective, it's really critical that it's not always a happy thing. There are a lot of during the journey of a startup, there are a lot of challenges, struggle, learning, growth. Because starting up and making a startup a success is really a hard thing. Few key pointers which I really liked out of it. One, what he says is like founder and CEO. I'll repeat it. Founder and CEO are two different skills. I really liked it. Because not all the founders are having the innate skills to be a CEO. And that is where to be a good CEO, there should be a journey of learning. And I see in day-to-day life also that we put lot of effort in terms of promoting a person at senior level, even recruiting a senior person. But what happens after that? We recruited, we promoted, but what happens after that is the real thing. And that is where somewhere he says that trained CEO, trained employees are the moat of the company. I totally agree with that. Second one, what I see is that whatever is the situation, if you are convinced, put your foot down. And I would little bit extrapolate it by saying that it's not only for CEO. It's for any person that if you are convinced, you need to stand for that. But the most important thing, whatever is the outcome, own for that. In this one example given that he proposed that we need to acquire another company, Tangram, to survive his current company. His team was not aligned, they were not convinced, and he put his foot down, got convinced board, and luckily what happened, that acquisition really worked and helped for this company, his company also, to survive. But let's say if it is not working, as a leader, I think Shini rightly mentioned, we need to stand up and say, yes, I messed it up. Own it. And then come up with the next step of actions. These two I think I see is really important. Third one, build meaningful connections. Have your own mentors and coaches. What we see, and if you will really reflect back, right? When we have a trouble, when we have a challenge, we start looking out that, hey, who will help me? And when things go on a happy path, we forget to build those connections. So connections are not to just when there is a situation we need to go and help, ask for help. It should be a continuous journey. And that has shown, even he has called it out, that he was having lot of, his mentors, and there was a situation when his company share price was only 30 cents. Share price was only 30 cents. Nasdaq called him and said that, hey, within 2 months, if your share price will not go beyond $1, then they will put the company into different segment. In summary, what does it mean? The valuation of company will go down. Anyways, he was struggling. So he reached out to his mentors, and his mentors recommended him somebody who helped him, and within 2 months, share price increased from 30 cents to $3. And this is, I say, is a real example. If we are into a situation, more than situation, if we have that mindset that we need to keep on working towards building meaningful connections. I think these 3-4 pointers I would like to summarize. This is what I see.
Nice. You've taken the good essence and then you have highlighted that. Thanks for that. To you, Srini. So the author talks about the CEO should tell like how it is, and he also highlights the important point on trust. Now, as the head of your organization, how do you build trust? And I have seen you with your team, they are also very comfortable, and obviously only that comfort will come only when the trust is there. So I have seen that. So I would like to know your secret sauce of building trust, and also how does one maintain the balance of, what is it that we can share with the employees and what is it that we should not? So from your experience, if you could share some insights, that will be awesome.
I can share me as myself, because I was never a CEO.
You're still the head, so...
Okay, yeah. I'm heading the factory, but okay, head of the business unit.
Yeah.
See, first thing, as I said in the beginning, you need to be, trustworthy before being, developing a trust. First, one must be, trustworthy, and we must have, the connection with every layers of employees. Like in a factory, this is a telecom equipment manufacturing factory. As I said, we manufacture 4G, 5G radios, system modules, and related equipments which are used below the tower. So we have operators, and we have line leaders, and we have managers, and we have a factory leadership team. Let's say, so most of the time, I understand the way I can understand any CEO, he will be under tremendous pressure, because it is his or his own core group vision to set up a company, to make to be in the business and serving their own employees, maybe in a large scale beyond employees also, but let us restrict to that. So every situation is not like very goody and you know that. So it is all ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. So though I am a unit, business unit head, when I get a direction from senior leaders, so that is, let's say it is a fact. Facts are said which are bitter in its true nature. They are not sweet. Sweet things easily to communicate. If I have to promote somebody, I will say, you are so-and-so, you are promoted for this reason, or so-and-so recognition, so-and-so good things. Good things is easy to communicate. There is always, truth only will come when you communicate good things. Not so good things, whether the truth is coming or not, is the challenge. So you as a leader, anyone, as you said, leader doesn't mean that who is sitting at the top is the leader. My line leader is a leader for the line. In a difficult times, when the truth is not so sweet, how do you communicate? So as I said, first is even as a unit head, I have various forums. So you need to slice the truth to the extent they can chew. I can't communicate what I communicate to leadership team, because I know the truth. A truth could be a policy, or maybe let us say that suppose a hypothetical case. I am told that it's not the fact. I know it is a live program. I don't know. I should continue my job from tomorrow onwards. Suppose hypothetically say that the unit is being sold to X. Suppose. That is a truth. How I should slice that truth at various levels, still run the show till it is sold. if that is the case, is the challenge. So, if I take that as a hypothetical case, then I need to deal with every layer separately based on their wisdom, and to the extent it is required, I have to communicate the not so good news in a way that they take it as this is the fact of the time or reality of the time. We have to digest that. Maybe future may be bright, may not be bright. We tell the options also, if the situation is such. So, and most importantly, what we say that, believe me, trust me, we are with you. In either the case, we are with you all the time. This is mostly required when things are not good. Things are good, they understand you are with them, or you are with whatsoever it is. But things are not good, they must understand and trust that you are seriously, sincerely with them. Being with them and sharing what best we can do. So that layered communication, one is connection like in IT, Nitin can explain much better technically, pinging. You have to have any level, you should have a connect to every employee. Like when it comes to operators, I communicate directly, good or bad, but bad is tough to communicate. Communicate directly in a town hall. I invite all my 500, 600 employees or even 1,500 employees in various groups. We communicate. These are the plans. And there can be this way or that way. We don't give a truth also in one shot. We just touch and feel and then slowly inject. So if we want to communicate, I can't tell one go that this is the truth, this is what will happen, this or that. No. I need to touch the waters till it gets stable in their minds. They have to become, my prime objective must be, they must be comfortable. Business decision may be different, may be tough. Business is going through a tough phase. But you have to sail through the tough phase comfortably along with all your employees, all layers of employees. So in the process, we slowly communicate informally, formally, every layer, and we use all these layers to facilitate the communication. Maybe it may take a month or 2 months, 3 months, depends on how bitter is the truth or the strategy. And we see that we are successful, then we feel the relief that we have done it. We have communicated and they are with us, we are with them. And they also keep checking. So, the consistency has to be there. You can't play with they are equally or more mature than me. If I understand they are immature, it's not the right approach. I say it is true also. They are equally even more mature than me. When I take that in that platform, my communication is better, reception is better, and they would be with me, and I am with them by default. This is how we deal in Nokia factory, and we have had, though I have given a hypothetical situation, but we had different situations where suppose orders are less. Just to give you a little more data, in a month we talk in euros only because our headquarters in Finland, currency is euro. My boss understands euro, so I have to speak his language, our company language. So as a manufacturing, we always understand, not only manufacturing, business, you have to dance to the tune. Tune is the market or the customer, and we are, as a professionals, we have to dance to the tune. Sometimes orders are high, we have to raise to the capacity and meet those orders to keep customers happy. When orders are low, then there will be pressure build up. Suppose if the factory has to be viable financially, comfortably, with the capex involved and infra involved in the factory, we have to do 40 million a month. 40 million, it is close to, you can multiply maybe 10, 11 crores. Maybe close to 440 to 500 crores a month, we have to do the billing. We are not a profit center, we are a cost center. If you do that much, then we are good. We are good financially. When we can do that, as I said, we are from manufacturing. Orders are not in our hands. It is some other function which brings us orders, which is a customer facing teams will bring the orders. Suppose even customer itself, like Reliance Jio is one of our customers, major customers in India, Bharti Airtel, second major customer, and Vodafone Idea, all operators, the CSPs in India and abroad are our customers. We ship to India as well as 100 countries across the globe. They're all our customers. So when when orders are low, because suppose Reliance Jio is deciding that 5G rollout, second phase to be delayed. Because first phase is done, they have to get the revenue back from all of us as the end customers. So if there is a delay, then they will delay the rollout of the second phase. When there is a delay, we get the less number of orders. Less number of orders means I'm doing the less billing. Me means as a full team. So that both ups and downs we need to, when it is low, we will have a pressure. People look at, no, is the factory viable? It's not our mistake, but orders are not there. And if it is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, company can tolerate. If it is a long delay, then company means senior leaders will keep thinking, should we do something else? So in various situations, to summarize that we build the trust, being with them, being truthful, but layered truthful. And what I communicate to LT is not the same. But after some time, all will have the same information. After some time. So, but beginning it will be different. That's how we manage.
Awesome. Thanks, Srini, for sharing your practical and real life experience. To you, Nitin. Now, like we were saying, the author in his book has been very generous with the profanity, the words there, right? So, do you agree to it or do you disagree with it? Because the author has also clarified, and justified the use of these words, especially in the workplace. And what do you think is the influence of such language from a culture perspective in the workplace? What are your thoughts on this?
To answer in one line, I don't agree with that. And for everybody, the question is more like in organization, in corporate culture, are we okay to use swear words? Right? Because see, if we are okay with that, and interesting thing is, I would like to share here, when people challenge in his organization, so what he says that he was the biggest offender, and then he had a discussion with his entire team and said that, okay, in certain limit, profanity is allowed. I'm confused, what is the limit? Are we saying that 5 swear word in a day allowed? I don't know, right? How will you put that barrier? So from company and organization perspective, profanity is not at all, to me, personally acceptable. Think about it, or you just reflect back. If you had any, I would say, challenging discussion with any of the person, what do you remember? You don't remember what was the topic about it. You remember how that person treated you. Similarly, in organization, if we start allowing using swear word, what will happen? There will be no culture. So, to answer that question, I'm totally in disagreement for that suggestion.
Right. Very, very beautifully you summed it up to say, and that's what really stands out in any such thing. So you're absolutely right. Srini, this is another interesting question for you. Based on your long years of experience and, have you had situations where you had to overcompensate an employee, a key employee, just because they got another offer? Because that's something common, right? Somebody says, I've got say 30%, 40% hike from another company and that's why I want to leave, and then they try negotiating with you. What do you do? So what are your thoughts on this, and do you agree with the author's views on this or not?
If I pick up from Nitin, I'll say no. One word answer. And if I have to elaborate, see, the engagement plays a major role. Any employee being with you, if they are for only salary, I would say we don't want those employees. I know for the fact that we all exist because of what we earn from our jobs. I know, but if that is the only reason for me or anybody being with the company, we say that is not the right approach. If somebody, as Dr. Sangeeta is saying, comes with saying that we have an offer, I'm being again truthful here. I know, again I'm repeating, it is live. So we have, generally, I think most of you might be thinking or doing the same. If the guy or the person, whether a male employee or female employee, asset to the organization, we think a little. Overall answer is no. We think little. If a guy is looking to be or is a liability, we say thank you, all the best. We will not take time. When do you want to relieve? We support you. You want to relieve next month? Thank you. Maybe it may be a little shocking to those who are listening, even from my own team. I have given the link to all of them. So that matters. If already you know the person is a liable, at least to you may be wrong. I'm not saying they're really liability to you. Maybe to that organization, to that team, maybe that person's skill set looking to be a liability to you. Maybe he is a great asset for elsewhere. So with the due respect to that individual, we say no. Bye-bye. Thank you. In a positive way, very nicely we say, because we'll keep the good reputation even after we, move away. Other case, if an employee is really an asset to the organization or future bet, we call it a future bet, or is a really critical for the organization, there are times even I have discussed, you may not believe, even 8 hours in consoling. Wow. At times, at one stretch, see the patients I took, and that person had being with me 8 hours. Most of the cases, 80% I was successful. But the summary there is not hiking. First question is, okay, I'm truthful with you. You need to tell me where are you going? What is the package? What is the role? And I think as his well-wisher, I evaluate based on my wisdom. May be right, may not be right. But I say based on my wisdom, better you go. But I know what can happen within our factory. If my wisdom says he shouldn't go or she shouldn't go, I tell her, well, better you don't go. As a company, we never match to the market offer. You get 80%. Just to make you comfortable, I can try and request 10%. All my team, if they are listening, they know. Nothing more than 10% than existing we give. Just to make you comfortable, whatever efforts you put in getting the offer. But I can assure you, Nokia will beat your existing offer in the future terms. It happened with many, like they say that, no, let me give a small number, 5 lakhs is my CTC, I'm getting offer at 8 lakhs. Said, maybe today you are at 5, 2-3 years down the line you will be 10. That's a fact also. The other companies, they attract people by paying high in the beginning, no increments later, no well-being later. But we don't follow that. If you are sincerely want to be with the company, if you are real talent, definitely Nokia is a company which pays for the talent. So with the time, maybe 2-3 years it might take, but we will beat or cross the market offer. Even the person goes, that many people feel bad that why did they leave? I should have stayed back. This is how we do.
Awesome.
And similarly, I think Ben is saying, I have read through also, Ben is saying in the similar lines, so you need to know. And also we have a lot of things like a real performer. We rate them better incentive, better increase. And we do have a share scheme that we do in advance. We react less. We do proactively 80%. 20% is the answer I said no. And whatever long story I said is 20%.
So thanks for taking us through your practical experience. I'm sure a lot of people are probably now wanting to apply to Nokia and see if they can be a good fit to it. All right, thanks for that. Nitin, to you. So the author in the book has spoken about the feedback sandwich, right? But he has also said it is trash. So what are your thoughts on it, and do you find value in what he has said, just seeing it? What do you think there?
For everyone, what author is talking about, feedback sandwich, means first layer of talking something about good, in between something areas of improvement, on the top of that something again good, and pass it on as a, package.
Right.
And he's trashed it, the author. So,
Yeah.
because then it's a feedback sandwich is a commonly accepted stuff. So that's why I thought I should ask you about this.
No, for sure, yeah. So, one thing is, when you are giving that feedback, to me that impression comes that there is a missing factor, and that is trust. What is the reason when somebody is giving that feedback as sandwich? What is the reason? Why not candid feedback? If trust is there, for sure, both the parties will be able to listen each other. So instead of focusing on giving feedback, I would say focus on building trust. That is one thing. Few pointers about feedback itself. Feedback generally considered that if I am giving feedback, it means I am giving something areas of improvement. But feedback is not only for areas of improvement. If somebody has done something good, give feedback. Appreciate in public and say, hey, you have done good. Thank you. Second, feedback when we are giving, we need to think ourselves, what is the objective? By giving the feedback, am I showing my superiority, or am I helping other person to become better version of that person's self? Because if that intention is there, the person who is giving the feedback will be more comfortable and candid. I see there is no need for having a feedback sandwich. I'll give you one example. There was one conference happening, and what I'm saying is, it's more like feedback also should be as early as possible. Right. So my example is related to that. There was one conference happening, and delegates from multiple nationalities were present over there. And the person who was coordinating this conference, she was asking some activities to be done, and for that, people participating or present over there need to raise their hand. Now, when first break came, one of the person from some different nationality asked the coordinator that, can I have a 2-minute with you? She says yes. Then she says that you are asking people to raise hand. I believe not all nationality people are comfortable to raise hand, even though they are okay to participate, even though they know the answer. So this was a feedback. And the best part is, this coordinator took that feedback very positively, changed that model on the fly, and by end of the day, the productivity of that workshop was very high. And even that coordinator went back and said thank you to that person, that thank you for giving the feedback. So I would say, it is important, right, to give the feedback. And I would give one more example. Sometimes what happens that we believe that we can give the feedback anywhere and everywhere. That is not true. There is one example that one of the manager gave the feedback to his employee, and she revolted. Discussion doesn't go well. After a couple of days, they bump into each other again, and this manager says that, hey, what happened? I was just giving you feedback and you were not in good mood at that day. And she clearly says, yes, I was not in good mood, and you were not having courtesy to even ask for my permission that am I ready for taking the feedback. So this is another good example that instead of just calling somebody and randomly, saying, hey, you did not do well, this is what it is. Why not we ask for permission? We ask for permission, are you ready for feedback now or later? And then give the feedback. So these are my takes about
good,
very
good examples, and I think the permission thing is more a Gen Z thing.
Agree. Yeah.
Because they want, all this. I don't know. I'm just reflecting during our initial years, I'm working. I don't think anybody asked us for permission for anything, be it feedback or anything. You have to do this work, you have to do this work. It was never. But now, yes, I think that culture, the thought, the attitude is all different. So.
And I think it's a good change. For simple example, right? With our kids, parents also need to be, change. Similarly in leadership. We manage different generations of team. For sure, we need to have and accommodate those changes on our leadership style.
Sure. Thanks. Let's go to the Q&A. Srini, I see a question for you. As manufacturing becomes increasingly driven by AI, IoT, automation and ML, how do leaders ensure that technology enhances human capability rather than replacing human purpose?
See, here, we have maybe more than a decade. We have been using Industry 4.0 use cases in our factory, and the last 5 years we have a lot of Industry 5.0 use cases which uses AI ML for most of our inspections in the process. We use AI ML solutions. So completely based upon, because as you know, that you need not teach the machine. Suppose there is a defect in a screw. If there are 150 screws to be fixed and there has to be inspection. If you say that a defect in a particular screw is a defect, it understands that this defect can appear anywhere on the screw, on all the screws. So that is the beauty of AML. So this algorithm takes it, the probable presence of the defect across the entire unit surface. So likewise, wherever we have inspection stages, which were maybe manual in the past, and when we had Industry 4.0 use cases, we did not have AML, but we had optical inspection, like auto optical inspection. Now that we have replaced with AML based, again optical inspection, but AML based, where efforts are less, easy to do it, and it will confirm it meets the requirement or not. Not only that, even for material transfer, we use mobility solutions where we don't use operators or human for moving the mechanics to the respective assembly lines of our assembly lines. And also, we are also working on developing, like we have a modular automation assembly lines, and we are also, as I said, already Industry 4.0 AML solutions we have used, even for SMT, which is best in class technology that we have, and where we have 1 ppm as a defect level consistently in all the 9 lines that we have. So despite of that, still we have for certain purposes, I don't want to elaborate my answer, but we use still AML to confirm that unwanted stickers which the connectors on the connectors is not supposed to be there beyond the soldering quality and all. So there we use AML. In assembly we use AML. Even final product outgoing inspection, earlier it used to be maybe a decade back it was manual. Then later we had optical inspection. Now again 360-degree AOI, even all the pictures that like around the machine, around tens of pictures of the conformity is taken and stored in the cloud. So if any escalation or any feedback comes from the customer, we should be able to correlate this particular machine, how it went through the process, beyond the test status and other things, workmanships, how well it is built. So we use all this, and we are ahead. Actually, we are ahead within this. There are many companies do come to benchmark the practices that we have implemented in the factory, and we welcome any one of you would like to visit. We are more than happy to organize a visit for you, either for you in particular or for your team, a small team, which is a manageable team size. You can witness what we have done, what we have been doing. If you have any further thoughts and feedbacks, we are more than happy to take that and try to incorporate to the best of our abilities. So we have been into this, and our factory is benchmarking for using Industry 5.0 use cases across the facility. Starting from even material receipt. I'll just take a few seconds more, like, the moment we have imports, seaport and airport. From the time, the particular component which is under shortage critically required for particular product. So if it comes in tens of trucks, either from sea or from airport, The required part is in which consignment, in which truck. So we have even a similar solution, truck in, truck out. From the time it is loaded into the container, we know which consignment, which part, which truck, where it is kept. So we will release that at the gate to be offloaded first, and we have auto GRN process. We don't do those manual GR process in the SAP. Yeah, it is all done auto mode, because we have OCR for reading the PO and invoice of the supplier, and we do that in auto mode. It gets into the stock. So across from the truck to finished goods, we have got lots of and lot more to be done. I'm saying that we have done everything. No, we are in the journey of 5.0, and we have done a lot of use cases. We are continuing to do it, and a lot of dashboards, a lot of based on how we can predict the failures, how we can prevent the failures, how we can improve the efficiency, how we can bring down the defects. As I said, SMT, we operate at less than one. You know that Six Sigma is less than 3.4 defects per million. We operate at less than one defects per million when it comes to defects on the soldering quality, which is very critical for any quality of a product of a radio, which has to operate from minus 40 degrees. The product has to work in Finland as well as in, maybe in Arizona, which is a forest. So minus 42 plus 60, it has to operate inside the unit, and it is in the open air. So radios are not in AC room, you know that. There are indoor also, but most of them are with the tower, with the microwave antenna, which is stuck below that, little few feet below to that. That is a radio. So it has to work with it.
Thanks, Srini, for that. Nitin, you have another question. The book emphasizes adaptability. In today's rapidly evolving AI-driven environment, how can professionals cultivate a mindset of continuous learning without feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah. I would say first and foremost, we need to accept it and embrace it, that we have to be adaptable. Because if we see the environment, especially technological landscape, is changing drastically, and we don't know what is coming up next. That is one. Second one, the keyword here is overwhelmed. And that is where my suggestion is that we need to look out for mentors. If there is any feeling of overwhelming, we need to really look out for mentors and ask them for help. That, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed because I'm not able to cope up, or because of whatever the reason. Right? That is one. And second, as leaders, we also need to proactively see and have interaction with our team and understand that what is bothering them, how we can help them. This is what is my suggestion here.
Okay. Thanks, Nitin. There's another question. Looking back at your leadership journey, when did you suddenly realize you had entered wartime, and what difficult decision did that moment force you to make? Do you like to answer that, Srini?
I've been taking more time. If I have to make it quick one. As I said already, that's why I'm picking up the mic and saying, you have to be truthful, you have to be honest. But as he also said, Nitin, you need to sugarcoat and finally give the bill. So that's wartime do come unannounced, and you need to be ready. As I said, how you behave, how you decide, how you act, how you communicate. All that matters, that whether you're trustworthy. Because it's not that, the time has come and you said whatever you wanted to say, you behaved whatever you want to behave, act whatever you wanted. And you're not left. You're going to face them again tomorrow or next time. And all that what you said, you may forget, but they will remember. Then you will be under continuous evaluation. If I'm saying 1,500, I may not know, to be honest, all the names of 1,500, but everybody knows what I'm talking. I'll be continuously be evaluated. That's how the trust will develop. So when you're really being with them for their welfare, to the extent you could do, as I said, as a unit head, what is the best I can do if I'm there with them all the time. So that's how, wartime is be on ground.
Be on ground.
Be with them.
Yeah, nice. That's a nice way of putting it. Nitin, probably you could answer this. What role does resilience play in leadership and how can young professionals develop resilience early in their careers?
I see it this way, resilience and leadership are synonymous. Because when you are at leadership level, every day you will be, something was there, war time or something, right? Every day something or else you will be there, right? And the important point is how we can develop resilience. To me, very simple is that take more challenging stuff. Look around, just don't be, at the beginning of your career itself, don't just be seated and focused on your work. Look around what is happening, what all challenging things are there. And my favorite one is ask your manager that, what is keeping you awake late night. And ask that if there is something I can help you over there. Take those challenges early in the career, build that resilience because there is no escape for that. We have to be resilient. This is what I wanted to get out here.
Super. Thank you. So I think with that we are at the end of today's session and I would request Group Captain